Get out! Meghan Markle craved rejection from the royal family and revealed her true identity. Hello and a very warm welcome to the Celebrity Tribute channel. Have any of you all been curious about what exactly was motivating Meghan Markle when she was within the royal establishment? Well, according to royal author Valentine Lowe, some palace aides believe that Meghan may have craved rejection, and so she painted herself into a corner to be rejected by the royal establishment because she never wanted to stay. It's an interesting claim, is it not? And it's pretty controversial too. But as Lowe reveals in his recently published book, Courtiers, Intrigue, Ambition, and the Power Players Behind the House of Windsor, there are many different perspectives and many different opinions within the royal institution. But Lowe knows to dig deep. He digs a lot deeper, and he suggests that unrealistic expectations might have played an important role in Meghan's struggles. He says that it was a combination of her unrealistic expectations about what royal life would be like and the palace's failure to manage those unrealistic expectations. Alright, I'm going to start this video off by sharing my opinions on the whole matter. From my view, it seemed like Meghan was riding high on the wave of praise and attention that she got after the wedding, and then she tried to use that newfound popularity as leverage in her mission for equal treatment within the royal establishment. Now, it could be argued that Meghan and Harry's tours abroad did make some money for the British economy, and that meant that maybe they should get equal or even top billing compared to the other members of the family. But the reality is quite different. The reality is that the most important players at that time were Her Late Majesty the Queen, Prince Charles, and Prince William. So it didn't really matter how popular Harry and Meghan were. As far as the hierarchy was concerned, they were basically insignificant. But unfortunately, Meghan did not see things this way. The courtiers probably failed to manage Meghan's expectations because they didn't understand what it was that she was wanting. It was a ridiculous expectation. So I understand why the palace did not know what to do. What were they supposed to do? I mean, they gave her that over-the-top wedding, so luxurious, and it cost at least as much as an actual future king's wedding did, and the man who soon became the king was the one to walk her down the aisle. Nobody punished her when she was bullying a toddler. Nobody punished her for wearing white, even though she's a divorcee. They even gave Meghan the opportunity to continue working as an actress instead of being a working royal. The palace really went out of its way to make a statement at one point about some of the horrible coverage of Meghan, which is something it never stood up and did when other women who married into the family were destroyed by the media. So how exactly could Meghan have orchestrated her fall and then turned around and claimed that she was the victim? Well, I'll tell you how, because Meghan is a narcissist and she's insane. In the age of information, there are so many people who understand cluster B personality disorders, and there's nothing they could have done to make her happy other than maybe the Queen stepping aside so that Meghan could wear the crown. I know somebody personally who is a lot like Meghan Markle, and she did exactly that to her partner's family. See, she saw them as a threat, and so she wanted them out of his life so that she could get all the money and all the attention. She would pick fights with his own children, his family members, his friends, everybody. I mean, from the very beginning, she was trying to get them away. They were lovely people, and they were so lovely to her, but that was never going to be good enough. So she just made up offense after offense. Now, this was back in the day of landline phones, and I remember she would even listen in on the calls that he would have with his family and friends, because she assumed they were trying to turn him against her. She really was a sicko. Let's think back to that part in Harry's book Spare. After the fight over the bridesmaids' dresses, Harry claims that he came home and found Meghan in a heap, crying on the floor. Harry wrote, "Kate hadn't meant any harm, I told her." I mean, even a jealous narcissist like Harry saw that there was no harm in that situation, but Meghan convinced him that Catherine really wanted to destroy her. And I don't even think that little squabble was much of anything. If I were in Catherine's shoes, I probably never would have gotten flowers and a card to apologize. I just think it was not that big of a deal. So you know what? Props to Catherine for being so sensitive to how Meghan might have viewed the situation. She was the one who went out of her way to make an effort to make amends. Once again, we see Catherine as a sensitive, caring, mature individual she really is. Now, Valentine Lowe's idea is that Meghan might have had the desire to be rejected by the royal establishment from the very beginning. In his book, he talks a lot about how Meghan's problems may have been thanks to unrealistic expectations of what royal life was really going to be like. So Lowe writes that it was a combination of these expectations and the fact that the palace could not manage them that led to Meghan's problems. But there's even more. Lowe also says that Prince Harry was already unhappy with royal life before he ever met Meghan Markle. According to him, Harry's distrust with the household, obsession with the media, and desire to make an impact and do something useful before reaching middle age were already there. Lowe is also very sympathetic towards Meghan and Harry for departing from their senior working roles as royals. He referred to the situation as acrimonious, and he suggested that Buckingham Palace didn't do a very good job of handling it. Now, I really like what he has to say. I agree with what he believes about Meghan's desire to leave and how Harry's unhappiness was heightened by Meghan. But I do think he lets Meghan off the hook a little bit too much. I think her whole strategy from the very beginning was to fan the flames of discontent so that it would become them against the world. See, she legitimized Harry's complaints and she gave him solutions to all of his problems, all the jealousy, all the ignorance, and all the perceived slights from his family. She convinced him that she really could make him more popular than his older brother, because now he's got this gorgeous, sexy Hollywood wife on his arm. She convinced him that she was so much more likable than that Catherine was, and so she was going to be great in public. They were going to generate all kinds of great publicity thanks to Meghan's amazing understanding of people and the media. She told Harry that she was going to use all of her connections in Hollywood to make documentaries, movies, books that would make them popular all around the globe. Or maybe she could use her great experience with charities and kindness to create their own foundation, which would end up making them so famous as humanitarians and philanthropists. I think by now it has become clear that Meghan never wanted to remain in the UK as a working royal for the rest of her days. I can't help but wonder if Harry really understood that she went into this marriage always planning to leave, or maybe she even let him in on the plan before they walked down the aisle. See, when she realized that she would not be able to make money off of being a royal, that she wouldn't be allowed to accept freebies and be this superstar, I think that soured everything for her. She wanted money, she wanted to monetize her title, and the only way that she could achieve that was by getting kicked out or perhaps being given a license to merge royalty. Meghan has always cared about monetizing those titles, and that's basically the only thing they've done since Megxit. And that's why Meghan was busy making deals with people very early on. She knew she was never going to remain on as a working royal. Recently, of course, Meghan and Harry have faced criticism for their decision to move to the US and walk away from their duties as members of the British royal family. In spite of the statement the palace released at the time that they remained much-loved members of the family, recent polls are suggesting that people in the US are not quite as enamored with the couple as they were once upon a time. After the release of Harry's book, they polled 2,000 US voters, and that revealed that their popularity had sunk in the same period since December 5th. So this is further corroborated by the observations of LA-based royal expert Kinsey Schofield. She claims that she hears on the ground the two of them really need to apologize and they need to return to the UK. And I don't think this idea is going to be an easy one for Harry and Meghan to accept. They have been so vocal in their desire to escape the constraints of royal life and create a new, independent life of their very own. But they've got to acknowledge that the monarchy is not only a family, it's an institution, and it has a global reach, and of course there are going to be expectations of loyalty and respect. Now, just because Harry was born into the royal family, that shouldn't mean that he's stuck there for the rest of his life. But at the same time, it does not give him the right to disregard the wishes of the monarchy, the fans of the monarchy, and the public at large. Please join the conversation and share your thoughts on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. We value your insights and welcome your opinion. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on everything related to the royal family. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a lovely day. See you in the next episodes.